You are watching the Skeptic's Guide to the Universe, your escape to reality.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Friday thing. How y'all doing?
Good. What's up?
What's up, boys?
Friday.
Hey guys.
Weekend is starting. So happy.
I missed last week because my older daughter was graduating college out in the real world. She already has a job. She started this week.
Did you feel proud?
Yeah, yeah, very. She did extremely well. She's she's a good kid. But it's a transition.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
She's no longer living at home. That's the part that's hard.
Right.
Or awesome.
So I called Bob about 10 minutes ago. My wife and I decided that we're going to actually go swimming. And so that means I get to see Bob.
Yay, and the pool's about 88. But
I need it. Steve, what are you doing this weekend?
Well, next weekend we're having a graduation party for both of my daughters. One's graduating college at their high school, so I'm going to be doing some stuff to prep for that. I've been having so many weekend events. I'm getting behind on my yard work, so my spring stuff like planting my garden. So I'll be doing that.
What? So is that a party for Saturday and Sunday? What are the days? I didn't even hear about this.
Your wife is fully informed about this, Jay.
I know, but sometimes I like to know ahead of time.
Yeah, next Sunday.
It's all Sunday. Okay.
Yeah. Sunday before Memorial Day.
I think you guys should come over and help me with some yard work.
I have a yard of my own to take care of.
Yes, but we're having a party for your daughters.
Yeah, I'll help you, Bob.
This yard. It's a lot of work.
So I decided that I'm going to have a happy summer. I did. I sat here and I'm like, I am not going to allow myself to sink into any kind of politics infused delirium. I'm done with that shit. I spent way too much time. I will poke my nose in every once in a while, but I just had enough.
You think that's the key to happiness, is staying away from politics?
I mean, if you're talking about in recent time in my life, yes.
Yeah.
The more I read and learn about what's going on, the more angry I get. It doesn't help.
It's hard to watch our democracy be destroyed in slow motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
It's even little decisions now
scary.
that completely piss me off, and I'm like, what am I doing to myself? Like I'm like, my emotions are riding on what the Senate is doing at any given particular day. Screw that. It's all noise. It needs to become noise again to me. That's what I'm saying. I'll dip back in when something really big happens, but
yeah, I mean, we'll keep you apprised of the real big stuff, but otherwise,
I'm not completely tapping out. I'm just saying, like, for a mental health break, maybe we all should just back off a little bit.
I've already backed off a bunch, but
well, we could focus more on science news.
Science.
Does that make you happy? So they discovered the oldest spiral galaxy ever seen.
The oldest spiral, huh?
Yeah, or galaxy with spiral structures, so it's
How old?
12.4 billion years old, 12.4 billion.
Wow.
It has clear spiral arms. It's not a fully formed spiral galaxy, but it's got totally clear spiral arms.
How old's the Milky Way? Was it 10-something billion?
13.7.
So we're the oldest spiral. We're a barred spiral.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, aren't we the oldest spiral we know?
Why would you say that?
Good question.
Because you just said we're 13 billion years old.
No,
Milky Way.
that's the other one.
universe.
Yeah, 13.79 or something. But so this galaxy is older than the Milky Way. That's what I'm getting at here.
Apparently, let me look up how old is the Milky Way. The Milky Way is 13.5.
And the universe is 13.7.
But the question is, was it a spiral galaxy 13.5 billion years ago?
Well, who the hell knows?
Probably not. I mean, there's an evolution
That's the
to that
point.
as galaxies merge. Oh, that's the whole point.
This is a galaxy with spiral features.
Early in the universe. Gotcha.
Yes. Not the oldest galaxy that eventually becomes a spiral, but the oldest spiral structures that we've ever seen.
So
Isn't it frustrating that we can't travel to these other locations? Like we're seeing everything as they were, millions of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Billions.
We can't travel anywhere. There probably will be no FTL, right? Because it's breaking the number one law of the universe. And I mean, I guess it's good in a way, so we don't get swamped with aliens. But it kind of sucks. It would be amazing to tour. If you lived a few thousand years and you could just tour around and see stuff, that would be.
Well, I mean, with time dilation, if you can get to a decent relativistic speed, then yeah, you could do some good touring, Jay. As long as you don't care that millions of years have passed on Earth when it's only been a couple of years on your ship. But yeah,
I hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, but would you have just getting your hands on a ship that can handle that? Like, forget it.
Well, I mean, we'll never be able to, even from what I've been reading, we can't even get really, really close to the speed of light. First off, because the energy required is crazy, but even really high relativistic speeds might just be out of reach forever.
Yeah.
It's not only the energy, but when you're at relativistic speeds, you're interacting even with the cosmic microwave background. It's going to be just tearing you apart when you get crazy high. So, but still, 60 or 70% the speed of light is nice. You could still, go pretty far, ship time, and see some cool stuff. If
you were going that fast, wouldn't you need a ship that has amazing shields? Think about it.
You'd need crazy shielding.
You couldn't hit anything. Anything at that speed would take you out.
Even a proton could do damage. But I mean, you could use potentially magnetic fields to funnel it away. But that's only for charged objects. If it's not charged, you're not gonna a magnetic field won't do anything. But yeah, it's we won't see it. But I wonder what the limit of physics are for a physical ship traveling the fastest it could travel with, a antimatter annihilation engine. What's the physical limit?
It's almost like reality is kind of stacked against creatures going fast in outer space.
Yeah, matter was not meant to go really, really fast. If you're energy, sure, have at it. But matter, it's too much energy. Way too much.
I was writing recently about radiation, like space radiation and travel, and it's not as bad as as I remembered. Let me ask you a question.
What you talking about, Willis?
Obviously, long term, the big problem is solar storms, right? That's where you're going to get most of your radiation. What's not that bad is the background radiation.
So high energy cosmic rays are not an issue.
It's an issue. It's just not that much of it as a background. So, for example, how many times greater is the background radiation exposure on the lunar surface versus the ISS? What would you guess?
10 times.
The background rate, the surface of the moon is a deadly place. I would say. So you're saying how much deadlier is the moon's surface to the ISS
than being aboard the ISS?
You're still within the magnetosphere of the Earth. You're protected. You got the Van Allen belts. You're much more protected than on the surface of the moon. You could never stay on the surface of the moon for months like that. No way. Not without some major. I would say it's 100 times more deadly on the moon than the ISS.
2.6.
I don't believe it.
Bob.
I don't.
That's what I was surprised by.
You're bullshit. I call bullshit.
200 to 1,000 times that of the Earth's surface, but only 2.6 times that of being on the ISS.
Well,
the Earth's surface has very little radiation because we have the atmosphere and we have the magnetic field. The Earth's magnetic field. Look it up. That's what I found.
Let's see. All right. Well, all right. You got the solar flares aren't much of a problem on the ISS, right? Because they've got safe havens on the ISS, right? If they happen to be exposed to a solar flare, right? They've got some shielded areas, right? So they're within the magnetosphere. Yes. They've got shielded areas, so that helps. So solar flares aren't that much of an issue. You don't have the radiation striking the ground of the moon, which then kicks up other radiation. So that's not a problem because you're not on the moon. So it's just a bare radiation bearing down on the ISS, not including solar. Yeah, maybe I can see that.
2.6. All right, let's say you're on the surface of the moon wearing only a spacesuit, and you get hit by a solar storm.
I'd say you're done.
Could you survive that? What would the effect be?
Wouldn't it cook you?
I think I don't think so. I think it depends. I think it depends on how powerful it is.
Yeah,
but
it totally depends.
That's a major emergency right there. I think you could walk away from it, but your chance of having cancer in the next 20 years could get pretty high.
Yeah, Bob's correct. So for a typical solar storm, you would absorb about 400 rem, which is enough to cause radiation sickness, but wouldn't kill you outright.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, what if you were inside the LEM, the lunar module, the landing module,
protected by the aluminum foil?
Yeah, protected by aluminum.
Aluminum actually is not that bad. It's not that bad of a protection. So I would say it'd probably cut it down by an eighth.
It cuts it down to 35, so less than 10%. So it's 92% protection just for the aluminum hull of a lunar lander.
Right.
That's not bad. Luckily, a lot better than I thought it was. Aluminum's a good light metal. It's a good structural metal, and
it's everywhere, which is great.
And that's a lot of protection. That's a lot more.
It is, but it's probably not enough protection, Steve, for a 6 or 7 month flight to Mars.
No, you gotta. I agree, Bob. You would need the ship to be incredibly low. You're right. Like if you're going to be going to Mars, you can't have that kind of exposure.
You
every
can't
day,
dodge a CME, and there's the constant hail of cosmic rays. So the moon's one thing, but interplanetary travel within our solar system, that's a different deal. You want to go to Mars, you want to go beyond Mars.
Yeah.
You need to get some heavy duty shielding, and that adds weight, and then therefore adds huge expense. That's the problem. And I've not seen any good plans to deal with that, even just for Mars.
I've read some interesting stuff, Bob. I mean, look, we're going to probably be using material that is in orbit and it'll stay in orbit, right? We'll push stuff up there and then we'll reuse it. And we could be mining asteroids for material and fabricating in space in some type of space facility or on the moon. You know, there's a lot of things that we could do to manufacture stuff in outer space.
Bob, I have 2 words for you.
Okay.
Metal
Shut
foam.
up.
Yeah, metal foam.
foam.
The bubbles in the foam actually are good at like messing with the radiation and absorbing it or redirecting
and it's
it.
super light. It's super
surprisingly,
light, and it's really good radiation shield.
I
We're going to
remember
have to
that.
put a few inches of some kind of, you know, aluminum or other metal foam around any ship, and I think it would be fine. It's actually not that big of a problem. But when you're going to Mars, this is why we talked about this at some point. When you're going to Mars, what you want to do is have like a big ship that's heavily shielded, that and you just put it on an orbit that it goes from Earth to Mars to Earth to Mars.
Yes.
And then you could take a small shuttle to rendezvous with that ship and then transfer over to the ship. And then when you spend your 6 months or whatever in comfort and shielding and with artificial gravity and all that stuff.
Wait,
Once you get it going, you never
artificial
have
gravity?
to accelerate it again.
You're talking about what, the gravity plating? What do you mean artificial gravity?
No,
like
like
rotation.
Okay, all right.
rotation, yeah.
Just, you know.
That's cool. I wonder when that would happen, right? That's a big deal.
Yeah.
To build
That's solar system infrastructure right there.
Yeah, that's, you know, could be 50 years away.
50 is
Bob?
probably 100.
No, I already made that calculation. 50
You already
years.
doubled it?
Yeah.
But speaking of old,
Yes.
Bob, you had an encounter with something very old, not you, in our mother's kitchen.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know what we were doing. But Liz and I found in my mom's kitchen white pepper, which I'm not even sure what the hell white pepper is. It's pepper.
It's a type of pepper.
It's a type
Never,
of pepper, Bob. It's
never
white.
seen it before, but looking at the container, this metal container, it looked old school. Like,
Do you
that's
have it, Bob?
Yes. I
Go
got
get it. Go
downstairs.
get it. Go get it before you give
Ooh,
the
I
thing.
think I could find it. All right, I'll be right back.
Let's see here. White
You're
pepper.
supposed to have this keyed up.
So
I've cooked with white pepper before. I have white pepper in my spice rack.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
really
the
useful.
peppercorn kernels or if that's what you call them, are white. You know, they're sandalwood color.
Yeah.
But it's totally different. It's like Chinese cuisine used with white pepper, I think.
It tastes different, Ian.
Oh yeah, and smells
Yeah,
like
totally.
very it's not black pepper that's just white. It's like a totally different spice.
Okay, so
No,
it's a
I
totally
don't think
different
that's true. I think
Well,
it says
It's not just bleached, is it? No, I think it's.
no. They
like-
take the outer coating off.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's it? What?
Blah, blah, blah.
thing. They're peppercorns.
somebody
Okay,
says
thanks.
less
White peppercorns and
oxidized.
black peppercorns both begin as the same berry of the same pepper plant. But it all
But they
depends
taste
on
ver-
how they prepare them. Same thing with green
Oh, interesting.
peppercorns.
But it has a different taste. I mean, it doesn't just taste like black pepper. So it's the same pepper with the outer husk. removed,
Taste is
but with
brighter
more
and
spice.
sharper and more
Yeah.
herbaceous than black.
Wow, that's amazing.
All right,
That's really cool. I did not know.
Yeah,
that.
it all has to do with
Bobby.
because it's like tea. All
Like tea,
tea,
yeah, I was
white
gonna
tea,
say, yep.
green tea,
Plant black.
black tea, all comes from the same plant.
Wow.
The only difference is how long
Marketing.
they dry it, and which affects the
how it's
oxidation.
prepared.
So it's the same thing. It's all about the oxidation, which absolutely changes the taste.
But Szechuan peppercorns have to be different, right? Those ones
I
that
don't
go in
think-
your mouth.
I'm assuming. Yeah, but there's paprika, which is different. There's cayenne pepper, which I love cooking with now. Cayenne pepper is good. You just have to use a really small amount of it. I mean, that shit, you really just have to put just a tiny amount.
and if you overdo it, you're done.
For
Yeah, it's a-
mortals.
It's a
Did
very
you have the
narrow
box?
window in terms of
Bob,
the pepper.
did you have the box or the container?
I does.
Let me just.
Yeah, so show people it. So what do you notice about that?
That's
Let's see what they say in the chat. Let's see here.
It looks old school, doesn't it?
It looks
I mean,
old school, yeah.
it's not new packaging. Need some more?
So,
Okay.
all right, we need some guesses from the audience. What year was that pepper from? Keep in mind, this was actively in our mother's spice rack in her kitchen.
Visto Tutti said
Yeah.
1950s.
We also got a 70s guess.
So the oldest
And
thing,
Page, I believe, is an old A&P store brand. That's what
the oldest thing I found in my mom's house
Here
was
they come. Bam.
2020.
the oldest thing I
93.
found was 2013, a can of something
Mm.
from 2013 or 2012. That was old.
Someone says
All right,
5
say it.
BC.
All right.
No one's got it exactly.
So I turned it down. Can you see?
It's hard to see that.
September
zoom in.
1974.
It was still in play in the
70
pantry.
Still in the pantry.
So that was
Probably-
the expiration date.
That's- yeah.
74 was the expiration date.
She
Yeah, I
probably
mean, Pepper-
bought it in the 60s.
Yeah,
What,
that probably means she
67?
bought it in the 60s.
That means that
When
that
Jay was
bo-
born.
that was she bought that probably before I was born.
That was a wedding
See?
present.
No, I think she was bringing Jay home from the hospital, stopped by the store and picked this up on the way home.
Oh my
That's
god.
what I think.
And the branding is so 60s,
Yeah.
which I think is awesome.
A couple people guessed 1974, but that is the expiration.
That was the expiration date.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that counts.
But even we can't be sure, but probably
So does it taste
67,
good?
68.
Have you tried it yet?
I'm saving this, man. It's
Did
just
you
so-
eat it, Bob?
No, I haven't even looked at it,
You
man.
didn't snort any of that?
Ground pepper, they say 3 to 4 years. So if that's any
Yeah.
indication.
All
It
right.
probably just becomes very bland at that point.
Just loses probably its. So probably 1970 would be a good guess.
So this is a thinking about pepper and the different spices you were saying, Steve.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about this idea, and I think we talked to Kevin
Of
Folta
spicing your
about
food?
this. No, it's this idea like there's all of these flavors that we have in our reality, right?
Yeah.
But there's got to be other flavors that just didn't evolve that could physically exist that would be amazing, right? Like think about how profound the flavor of an orange is. It's unique. It's very it's unique. It's profound. It has its own signature.
What if it never? What if it never evolved?
Right. But I just find that idea a little interesting and a little frustrating because there's probably tons of flavors out there that we don't know, simply because they didn't naturally occur. They weren't nobody decided to manipulate them, and I wonder, like, man, are there flavors out there that would blow my mind that I'm just pre-programmed to love that I'll never taste? There's got to be.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
about
but occasionally, like you come across an exotic fruit, exotic to us, that we never tasted before, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
It's just a new flavor that you didn't know existed.
It's like when I discovered drunken noodles. Changed my life.
Yeah, definitely. Like I acquired a taste for sushi, and now nothing tastes like sushi does, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a million things like that in our reality that look, there's food out there that we'll never eat that is being cooked all around the world that we don't know of that we would probably love too. I mean, I'm at that point where I like almost everything I eat at this point.
Yeah.
Well, how about
That
something fundamental like you got sweet, sour, salty, umami, right? Could there be another fundamental
No.
taste? I mean, yeah, but what about how come it took so long for umami to be added to that list?
Well, but they suspected it for a long time. It was more of just about confirming it. But I
Have they
doubt it. I
suspected
doubt there's
anything? I doubt it too. But have they suspected anything else? Is there another one
not
hanging
that I
out
know
there?
of. I think that's it. I mean, plus there's only so many. Like it's you can taste salt, sweet, sour, which is things that are acidic, bitter, which is a warning that it's not good for you,
Right.
and umami, which is a savory flavor. I think it's
Right.
specifically
Come up
amino
with a better
acids.
word than that. They made that word up for that flavor, and they couldn't
I'm
come up
assuming
with
it's
something better
Japanese.
Yeah.
than umami.
Yeah.
Imagine you genetically engineer your tongue.
Is it? What's
to-
it? It's specifically.
taste
What
other
amino
stuff.
acid is umami? It's a like. Is it tryptophan or something? Or no?
It says L-glutamate and 5.
Glutamate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, do you ever cook with MSG? I've been thinking about trying it.
I have it. I have a jar of MSG. It's
What do
dope.
you think, Ian? Does it really
It's
help?
amazing. Oh yeah, totally.
Wait,
It's
what is
definitely
it? What does it
that
do?
whole
I forget.
like Chinese food sickness thing is kind of
that's
like
bullshit.
a racist, like undertones bullshit.
It's complete bullshit.
Yeah.
I read an article about it, and the author was saying like it's not like it doesn't enhance flavor like salt. It has a somewhat similar.
Yeah, I
It's
put
a-
it on pizza. It's good.
Really?
I'm gonna try it. I'm
Sprinkle
gonna
on
go
pizza
get
and
some.
It's like whoa.
Real? Is it what?
Yeah.
What? What do you mean? It's whoa? Just
It's
taste
just
or
like I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's the savory taste. It just hits that like it just like heightens flavors or something like that. It's not like
Huh.
it's salty. It's not like because obviously you know what salt tastes like, and that kind of is overwhelming at times. It's just like kind of amplifies it.
I gotta try
gonna-
that. I
I'm
gotta
gonna
try
make a
that,
batch
man.
of meatballs and try MSG in
just
it.
a little
see what
bit.
it does.
It really you don't need to do a lot, but like a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I usually throw like my super hot pepper on pizza. It's just a little. This is like the craziest hot pepper I've ever bought. It's a mixture of all the high end ghost peppers, habanero and
Yeah, but
stuff.
you're crazy.
Yeah, I don't
It's-
want any. I don't want anything like that. It's nuts.
It's the title of it. It says what did it say? It says something like I can't feel my face anymore. That's how it's the description on the bottle.
Yeah, it sounds great.
It's awesome, man.
So how do you buy MSG? I guess what do you recommend?
I went on Amazon and
I
I
see
just
that.
got like there's a
Spice
popular-
Supreme MSG, like just
There's a popular YouTuber who is like he's like
Yeah.
you've probably seen him, but goes by Uncle Roger and he does like
All right,
this-
you've convinced
Asian
me.
accent.
I'll try it.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's really fun.
Does
At
the
least it
brand
does,
matter? You
know what I
think?
mean? Some
probably not too
people
much.
say that the brand is better. I don't know. It's
It got such bad press.
Sure.
Remember when MSG was getting such bad press
Yeah.
like a long time ago, and ever since then,
Yeah.
Well, people think it causes
Oh, yeah,
headaches
I
and
mean, even-
migraines, and it doesn't.
Right.
It's like been now pretty much conclusively proven that it does not trigger your migraine.
also
Or
fish
cause
sauce.
headache.
You guys use fish sauce ever before?
I've
Oh,
used what is it like clam sauce? No, wait.
No,
What's it
it's
called?
Oyster
like-
sauce. Oyster sauce.
It's,
Oyster sauce.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but not really. Oyster sauce is kind of sweet. Fish sauce is like very like yikes of a flavor when it's just on its own. Because it's like, I mean, it's gonna turn you off, but it's like rotten fish liquid.
Oh, yum.
But like Thai food uses it extensively, and people actually put it in pasta sauce, which is kind of blasphemous. But it's like that umami, like depth of flavor.
Bob, you can't make drunken noodles without it, man.
What?
That's kind of true.
Fish sauce. It's one of the it's a main ingredient.
Really? It's not oyster sauce?
So somebody
Or
asked
chili
us,
sauce?
Chinese, I think.
somebody wants to know what we think about the new Love, Death, and Robots season.
Oh, Ajinomoto.
So-
that's
Well,
So
if you
Monday
wanna know-
night, include Ian is involved with this. The four of us will be recording a few episodes of Alpha Quadrant 6 where we're going to go over it. But the short answer is, I really liked it.
Yeah, if you like the first season, you'll like it. Just watch the damn
Yeah,
thing.
it was
a
very
great
good.
season.
I had a question though. I was talking to Bob about this today. It took them quite a while to come out with season 2. Now, I understand, animation takes a long time, but all of these different shorts have to be made by different people, no? Aren't they just made by different groups of people? You would think that they would be getting submissions like crazy and that they'd be able to put out a season like every 3 months they could put out a season. I don't understand like what takes so long.
But what's the process? I don't think they're just getting bombarded with submissions. They've got to, they have to like approve them and
Yeah, I think
commission
the writers,
them or whatever, right? It's like
the
sure it's a
creators
long
were heavily
process.
the creators were heavily involved in the first episode, the first season. They were really working on it for years, and so I don't think they're just going to like give that up for anonymous submissions. I'm sure they can get a lot of great ones, but I think they want a hand in it. I think I haven't done the research yet to refresh my memory of how that's done.
Yeah, somebody said Snow in the Desert is that was
That was a
by
good
far
one.
my best.
Oh, yeah,
that was
man.
the best
That-
episode.
That hit so many interests for me. It was just like almost essentially perfect.
Yeah, I would. That's out of all of them, that's the one I would like them to flesh out and have.
Oh my God,
I'd
yeah.
like to see more about that world. But it was very good. If you like animation and you like science, I kind of call it, some of it's hard science fiction. I guess it's a pretty good mix. It's really a lot of fun though, and you could go through the whole season in like 3 hours. It's because they're short episodes.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's Love, Death, and Robots for anybody.
Love, Death, Robots.
Yep.
and robot. Yeah.
I
And we
love that
will
band
also
robot.
be reviewing the TV show Invincible, which is a
Excellent.
animated series, which I thought was awesome.
Wonderful.
Did you guys
Yeah,
see?
there's a few good superhero genre shows out there, but I thought Invincible was really good. I'm watching Jupiter's
yeah, I was just
Legacy.
gonna say Jupiter's legs. Jupiter's
Yeah,
Yeah, how was that?
it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
were you saying,
Invincible was
Ian?
better, but it's good.
Well, I was commenting. The first episode was like kind of whack after watching Invincible, but then just keep watching it.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to give it a chance. It takes a little while for it.
Oh, I was
pick
hooked
up
after
Is
the
it a
that.
pace.
book? I don't know if it's a book.
It's a comic series. Yep,
No, not Invincible, but Jupiter's Legacy.
Oh,
Is that also a comic series? It feels like a book. Anyway.
Well, getting back to food, I'm just so emotionally obsessed with food right now because I've been on a diet for 6 weeks, and I'm just dying to eat. To eat big with abandon. Just go nuts, and oh god, I can't wait. A few more weeks, and I'll let myself go crazy. But I'm doing good. Thank you. Thanks for asking. Losing the weight very well, right, Bob?
Yeah, like 20. You're down what? 20, Jay? 20 pounds?
I mean, I topped off at 226, and I'm at 208 right now.
That's awesome, dude.
And at 226, I was telling Bob and Steve this. I was like Homer Simpson. Like, I couldn't fit in any of my clothes. The pandemic made it so I was wearing sweatpants out of
Wow.
necessity.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, then I'm like, I just around February, I'm like, man, this has got to stop. I cannot make myself feel better by overeating at 9 o'clock at night every day. So, but it feels good. I'm really, really happy that, I was able, there are times when you could try to lose weight and you can't do it. You're just emotionally not ready. Well, I'm totally committed here.
So did you hear that Europe is now they're developing plans for a sat-nav system around the moon?
Awesome.
Yeah, so it'll be
Satellite navigation system?
yeah, so navigation and communications. They haven't used the words GPS, so I guess it's not going to be like a full GPS system, but it's going to be a navigational system and a communication system, which if we're going to be going back and forth to the moon later this decade, we definitely need that. This way, you'll be able to position yourself within 100 meters using the system.
Yep.
And it'll also give, it'd be good to have communication on the far side of the moon.
Yeah, of
So
course.
you don't have those
I mean,
blackouts.
I always thought that was one satellite, right? I didn't realize why they just didn't put a satellite up there and have it park itself over the dark side of the moon and just be able to communicate when you're over there, right?
Yeah.
Or
They could even be on the surface, I guess. Or you have
Yeah,
to
I guess
have
you're
a
right.
chain of them. You have to have them. If you had them at the Terminator, I guess, is that what you call it? They could put so that it was
Yeah.
like right between the Earth and the dark side, or not the
Yeah.
dark side, the far side.
Yeah.
Then that might do it too.
Yeah, there's no ionosphere to bounce signals along.
Yeah.
So pretty much line of sight, I guess.
We will see this, guys. We will see a permanent human base on the moon.
Yeah.
Inside a moon.
I can't
tube,
wait.
A lunar
I can't
tube,
wait until Nexus
lava tube.
because Nexus. I have two NASA scientists speaking at Nexus. I confirmed them this week.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be able to ask some detailed questions about Artemis and what's going to happen. And I really just can't wait. I want those details. I want to know, when are we going to formally say people live on the moon?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's going to be awesome.
I don't know.
Moonbase Alpha, man. Can't wait.
Yeah, I definitely want to know. I mean, obviously, NASA's always squirrely because they never know what their funding is going to be from.
I know, right? They have to
Cycle to cycle,
hedge
so it's-
everything.
Yeah, it's not like a private company. Like Elon Musk could say, "We're doing this. This is what we're doing." NASA, they always couch things in terms of, these probabilities or possibilities. But yeah, like what is the plan? I know that they want a lunar gateway in orbit around the moon. They want to land on the moon, and they
Moon
want
base.
to I think they're going to go with they decided to go with the the Starship, would be a reusable lunar lander. And I've been reading about that as well, because I had that question of why did they go with something that's so much overkill as a lunar lander? And I do think it's because they're looking towards Mars,
Yeah,
Thank you, Derek. By the way, appreciate the donation.
But I want
stepping stone.
to I want to know, like, how much of a plan do they have to have a colony on the moon, like to a permanent base with how many people, like to really build infrastructure on the moon?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's inevitable at this point. I mean, the moon is going to be a hub.
Well, nothing's inevitable when you think about it, but
except death.
Yeah, but in terms of what we do, I
True.
mean, in any time frame, we have to say sure. I mean, if you're saying inevitable means, yeah, we'll do it eventually. It could be 300 years from now, but are we going to do it within the next few decades? Is absolutely not inevitable. We have to decide that it's a high enough priority that we want to do it.
I hear what you're saying. I mean, I'm just thinking of it. I'm thinking of it along the lines of the ambition that we're seeing. First of all, a very good thing is happening right now, and that's we have multiple countries that are starting to get involved in space travel. That's going to mean a couple of things. One, it's going to mean that governments are going to want to keep up with whoever, right? The United States and China, could get into a little bit of a, who's going to get there first situation, which would be great.
As long as
China's
it's
building its
friendly
own
competition, that's fine.
Yeah. And the other thing is the commercialization of space is going to make it, much more commonplace. I mean, look we're all already used to reusable components, major reusable components. One of SpaceX's, I forget, it's one of the booster rockets, right? It's gonna go up more than any space shuttle did.
Yeah,
it'll have surpassed the reusability of the space shuttle, which was pretty awesome. But I think, having a permanent base on the moon means that there's resources there, means that there's a way to get up and down, that they'll have, I don't know, will the lunar platform have to be manned? I don't know. That's a good question that we should ask them.
Crude.
Yeah, crude, sorry. But I think
I would
think
guess
though,
so.
Steve, I will put my dime on within 20 years we'll have a permanent base on the moon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or at least long term.
Damn, I hope. It'd be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
they don't call it-
What was the point, like historically, at some point in the future, we decide at what point was human occupation of the moon permanent? Like there was always somebody on the moon.
Yeah, and that's, man, if that's in my lifetime, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have an old school conniption if they don't call that moon base Alpha. I will just freak out wherever I am if they don't do it. They have to call it Moonbase Alpha.
Now that's inevitable, right, Jay? They better.
Right? Like there is no other name. Sorry.
Moonbase Alpha will be some kind of cheesy restaurant inside
Oh no.
the actual Moonbase.
Moonbase Frankie.
They call it,
Thank you,
we're
Richard.
Moonbase Alpha.
No, they
Right,
have to
that's going to happen.
Oh my God, that'll kill me. That'll a little part of me will die on the inside. I think they should outlaw neon signs from the moon. Let's start with that. Just no neon, please.
No neon? What about argon? Argon signs are okay?
Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean. Guys, I can't wait to go to the movies. I haven't looked up like what's playing. That whole idea of like, let's go to a movie. What's playing? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Blah blah blah.
I know.
See,
It's
I'll
been
look
over
it
a
up.
year.
Let's go, man.
can't wait.
I want to see. I still haven't seen Kong and Godzilla.
Are any of our local theaters open yet? I haven't even looked.
I don't even know. I tried to try a shirt on in a store. They said nope. The dressing rooms are not open.
Yeah.
It's still in lockdown.
All right,
Mhm.
let's see.
Did you say,
Yeah,
but I'm vaccinated?
No, but they're not cleaning them. I guess they don't have the staff to clean them. Whatever,
Yeah.
All right, Jay, we got Dream Horse. We
Yeah.
should see that with Olivia. She'd love that. Isn't that animated? Wait,
I don't know anything. Bob, you could say anything right now, and I would believe it because I haven't looked up new
Let's
movies
see.
in a year.
Oh, look, Caligula 2. Let's check that out. That looks good.
What? What a
I
waste
don't
of time,
recognize
boy.
any of this shit.
All right, but
Those
what
Who
about
Wish
King
Me
Kong?
Dead.
You said.
I'm not seeing Wrath of Man. Demon Slayer. Wait, this sounds good. Demon
Someone
Slayer.
said Demon Slayer was good.
Ooh, all right. Raya and the Last Dragon. Scoob? Wait,
Is that for Scooby Doo
Scoob?
or Scuba?
I see Scooby. I see Scooby Doo, but what? That's it? What? Oh, so we lost Godzilla and King Kong. That sucks.
Okay.
That was a big screen movie, man.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I don't even remember Spiral. Oh, Spiral Saw. Another Saw movie. IMAX. Profile. Finding You. Final Account.
But aren't there some like blockbusters coming out this summer? It's a little early.
I don't
in the
know, man.
season, so.
I'm totally out of it.
Maybe Demon Slayer. I think it should be maybe Demon Slayer. The girl. I don't know. I know Courtney's not a huge fan of animation.
Someone
Jay.
told me today they're going on a cruise.
Oh yeah, I know. A
cruise
friend
ship.
of mine's going on a cruise.
Whoa.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
but they are requiring proof of vaccination before you can get on,
How
which is the
dare
only way
they?
to do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Absolutely,
you're
but-
getting on a plague ship, you know.
What did you guys hear that they're thinking about having COVID boosters in September?
I haven't
Really?
heard that yet.
Yeah, I heard it on
September.
I heard it on the news today. Yeah, they're figuring that the people that got the shots the earliest, which is what, January, that September, it's roughly 8 or 9 month spread, and then they said that they should probably get boosters at that point.
That's early, man. I mean, I was hoping once a year.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that we have the vaccines and that they're highly effective. Steve, somebody asked us over email, which you and I didn't get to chat about, is some study they did said that if you wait a little bit longer to get your second shot, that it'll work much better.
What?
Well, what's much better than 95%? There's not a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
headroom.
I mean,
there.
I guess
Right,
99 point something.
And how do they know? Have they actually tested this?
They had to have, yeah.
So
I
just
do.
3 days ago, the FDA said they're hoping it'll be a year for the booster.
Okay.
That's I think obviously that's what they're hoping for. No other I think, and they said they're no news on covering new variants specifically yet, but they said that so far the vaccines are covering the variants, but I guess they're keeping their eye on that.
I heard also that they're trying to discover coronaviruses, and I guess pre-treat people for them. Like, don't let them wait. Like, don't wait until something happens. Just start creating vaccines for the different ones that they find out there.
Mm-hmm.
So they pick someone, they tested them, and the person had a coronavirus that they've never seen before. Because I guess there's a lot of coronavirus out there, different kinds and variations and everything.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you hear people say this is not going away, that's what they're talking about. There's a lot of different coronaviruses out there. We're dealing with one of them that has some variants, but there's a lot of them, which sucks.
Yeah, I know. We've been talking about this. I mean, this pandemic, as bad as it is, may be a dress rehearsal, for something bigger coming along. It's just the way the world is now,
Yeah, we don't have to wait a century, most likely.
Hopefully there won't be another one for another century, but we can't count on that anymore.
Well, the good news
it
is
could be
though,
coming faster.
we have the PPE in place. People know what it's like. If we had to go into another lockdown, it wouldn't be like it was a year ago where I remember we were scared shitless. I mean, I was like buying all sorts of dried goods and food. I didn't even realize that we didn't have that much to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hindsight's 2020, but yeah, it could have. We could have had runs on food where you really needed to have a couple of weeks of food on hand. That was certainly not an unreasonable possibility.
Yep.
But we were still limiting our visits to the store,
Sure.
Like we were
Yeah.
going shopping once every 2 weeks,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to try to minimize our exposure. And it was good for that first week. The fact that like I always have 3 weeks of food in my house. That was an absolutely good thing. It was complete, and it justified me doing that. And so I will not give that up. So
Right. Of course.
it's like the guy who like sleeps with a gun under his pillow every night. That one time he needs it justifies his whole life. If that ever comes to that, but
Nothing feels better than when you've prepped something and you need it.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
That is there's a specific little place in heaven when you like pull out like I got a bobby pin, whatever
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. It ticks something in your brain. There's a little shot of dopamine. It's like, ooh, I prepped for this.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah. I'm so smart.
All right. So because Evan is not here, there's no puzzle.
No puzzle.
But I did make a quiz for everybody. We could
All right.
pivot to the quiz,
Sure.
and then we'll take some questions.
Yeah. And as we're getting ready, of course, it's darkenergy.games, everybody. Darkenergy.games. I'll post that there.
Evan, you're gonna give Ian, you're gonna give us the link.
Yeah. There's Dark Energy there.
But Ian's got a couple of things queued up for
Yeah,
us.
there's a couple of things. So a couple of people were mentioning in the chat UFOs, and if we have the 60 minutes little segment, so maybe we'll play a little bit of that.
Yeah.
UFO stuff.
Yeah, let's do it.
See if this is it.
Former Navy pilot Lieutenant Ryan Graves calls whatever is out there a security risk. He told us his F-18 squadron began seeing UAPs hovering over restricted airspace southeast of Virginia Beach in 2014 when they updated their jet's radar, making it possible to zero in with infrared targeting cameras.
So you're seeing it both with the radar and with the infrared, and that tells you that there is something out there.
Pretty hard to spoof that.
These photographs were taken in 2019 in the
What do you think of that photo? Is that compelling?
It's like a bird.
I could definitely see that being like
It's like a Romulan ship.
a weather balloon or something. But what are they saying? How fast is it flying? Like what are the details?
Yeah, there are a bunch
Identify.
of different.
Lieutenant Graves told us
let's
pilots
look at it.
training off the Atlantic coast see things like that all the time.
Every day for at least a couple of years.
Wait a minute, every day for a couple of years?
I don't see an exhaust plume.
So
Including
the
this
thing is, that's supposed
off
to be
the-
impressive. Like he sees
Right.
these things
To
every day
me-
for a couple of years, but that just tells me that they're not anything interesting because we would know. I mean, there would at some point, if these things are a daily encounter, they've got to be
Right.
all over the place. Why isn't there a single clear photo?
Right.
But there are things like birds all over the place. Yeah, you would probably encounter birds every day or whatever.
Yeah, that makes me think that he's credulous, and then when his higher ups learn that he's seeing something like this every day, they don't care because they know it's bullshit. They know it's probably
Yeah.
something that's mundane. The overwhelming likelihood that it's
Right.
mundane. So because somebody would say, let's get multiple planes out there, triangulate, get HD. Come on, they would every day, predictably every day. Come on, they would be all over that if they thought it was
Yeah.
real.
The other thing about those videos is it looks like the object's moving fast, but you got to remember the camera is moving fast. It's on a jet.
Yeah.
And then it's the parallax, whatever. It gives the illusion that what you're
relative
looking at
motion,
is
yeah.
moving super fast. But like there was one video where it was proven to be a bird, but it looks like something that's zipping along like the waves. But it was completely just a parallax effect from a moving camera.
In the end, though, with all the looking and trying to zoom in, and the guy's trying to see if he sees like an exhaust of any kind coming out, without more data, this is all just noise.
Yeah,
It doesn't mean anything.
it's blob squatch. There's a reason why the videos are not clear, because if they were, it would not be interesting. We would see that it was something mundane. Right. The only things that are interesting are ones that are too blurry to identify. That is a classic red flag for a apophenia phenomenon.
Yeah.
Ian, do you have anything else?
Sorry, yes. There's a couple things. There was this image sent in. Where is it? Let me see. Where'd it go? Oh, I know. You know, it's not an image. It's a little video.
What? That is a dedicated woodpecker.
Why?
Holy
That-
crap.
There's here's another one where they sent it in with the a link to, gosh, where did it go? It disappeared. There it is. Called Birds Being Dicks. It's a Reddit going
Oh
in.
my God, that is awesome.
Birds
That is
being
a
dicks.
pileated woodpecker, by the way, in case you're interested.
So he's probably just, there's something wrong with him because he doesn't need to be doing all this.
Oh, he's hungry. He's going at it. Or maybe he ate that
Wow.
tree. I think that's the idea. Anyway,
Obsessive compulsive. Oh, yeah. Fred Bremer just said OCD woodpecker. That's right, Fred.
That's right, man.
That is the species of woodpecker that Woody the Woodpecker was. Right?
oh, that's right. Oh yeah. Did they make that same sound?
No.
Did you have another one,
What a
Ian?
lie. No, that's it. that was. I mean, there was a longer UFO one, but you guys, I think, talked about it, right? On the
We talk about it on the show
tomorrow?
this week, yeah.
Yeah. So there's more there.
All right, let's do the quiz and then we can take some questions.
Excellent. Let me. Again, it's darkenergy.games, everybody. You're there. Let's see. I think there's only 160 people, so there's probably either people still waiting or, oh, you know, I didn't post it. There, let me post it again. Darkenergy.games. There you go. Try something new. There's a new visualization option.
They want you to turn up your mic, Ian.
Oh, sorry.
Or, yeah, or
here
just
we
talk
go.
into it.
Check,
That helps.
check. Yeah, that would help. Okay, if everybody's ready, we're gonna count
Yes.
down and click. I think there's enough people
Wait,
here.
Did you
Can we
send?
synchronize?
Did you send?
I
us
sent the
a
link in the chat.
Sorry.
Did you guys get it?
Yeah, as
Yep,
usual.
I see it now.
Darkenergy.games for everybody else. Predicting we have latency. I think Frank fixed a lot of that stuff, but well, I mean, you have latency inherent with where you are locationally, but
By the way, somebody asked about the brains of the woodpecker. Actually, their tongues curl up around their brain and acts as a shock absorber.
That's crazy.
that's
Yeah.
helpful. When do we get that upgrade?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
All right, here we go.
Inconceivable. All right.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, click.
0, baby.
Don't forget to turn the music on.
That's right.
Do, do,
Turn that
do,
music
do.
on. It's good for you. Everybody wants to hear it. And I think there's a way that I can show off what's happening on the quiz.
Here
Which
they come.
means it is, of course. Oh, and there's just Steve. Why is there just? Oh, that's the campfire. I forgot we had the campfire thing set up.
That was funny, by the way.
All right, and let me just zoom my screen a little bit more. We should be ready to go. All right, and away we go.
We go.
What is the phenomenon that explains why people will tend to refuse to offer help when there are other people present during an emergency? You don't want to give CPR to strangers, the voyeur effect, herd mentality, the bystander effect.
Bend it, bend it there, and burn
The music should be down at the bottom left. I can hear somebody's music in their headphones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You turn it down.
So what is it? What is it, Jay?
It's the bystander effect.
There you go.
What happens is, when you get to a certain number of people, it lowers the likelihood of somebody in a group helping someone that's in distress, because
Mhm.
people think other people will deal with it. It gives them cover too, like emotional cover. Like I don't have to do anything.
Actually, the primary reason for that is uncertainty. It's people. It's often in them. They're not sure what they should do. They don't want to do something embarrassing. So it's fear of social embarrassment is the primary motivator.
All right,
Next question.
is, what is the scientific term for peeling skin, exfoliating, molting, shedding, or desquamation? Or desquamation? Desquamate? I don't know. That word.
Desquamation.
Yeah, sure.
I'm assuming a lot of
Skin
people learned a
effect.
new word today.
I heard that
How
in
do
a
you pronounce
podcast
it?
once.
Desquamation?
I think so.
Yeah,
Steve, you know that
desquamation.
word?
Yeah.
Desquamation.
Yeah, I heard that in a
Is
podcast
it a specific
once.
kind of skin peeling, or could it be any kind?
Well, it's like in mass. Like whereas exfoliating just means like the individual skin cells. But if the skin's peeling off, it's desquamation. Yeah.
Okay.
Like after a sunburn.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is, this jungle animal, when in groups, is referred to as an ambush. What kind of animal is this? Lion, tiger, leopards, or parrots? I notice the questions are not at the same time. My screen isn't. Another thing for Frank to look into.
Ah, really?
Aha!
Yeah, I believe it.
I gave you some notes, Ian.
A group of parrots is called a pandemonium. Leopards is called a leap, and the lions is a pride.
An ambush of tigers. I love all those.
Somebody says platypus. I don't know if that's right. An ambush of platypus. Is-
I don't know.
Okay, next one. What lunar phase happens when there is less than a full moon, but more than a half moon, and getting smaller?
Aha! I bet Steve knows this one.
I mean, I've known that since my entire
Yeah.
life. I
Since
can't
your
remember
entire
a
life.
time when I didn't know that.
Life started.
I taught my daughters that when they were like 4.
The
There you go.
waning gibbous.
Yep. Gibbous, baby.
The moon is beautiful. What a feature that we have. We're so lucky.
Yeah.
But imagine if we
Yeah,
had
we
like
are
an
lucky.
enormous, like, what if Saturn were close enough to us that you could see it in the sky with its rings and everything? That would be amazing.
That'd be cool.
Or, I mean, maybe even better than that, Steve, would be something like a galaxy. Kind of like
Yeah.
Andromeda. I mean, Andromeda is like 10 or 20 times the diameter
Next
of,
question.
of the moon.
The
But it's
joints
too
of the
faint.
body are designed so that they allow bones to interface and move. This specific type of joint is rigid and does not allow movement. What type of joint is it? Condyloid, maybe? Saddle, suture, or canortal?
Yeah, got it.
That's an easy one for Steve.
And for
Yeah, so
and
the
for skull
suture-
aficionados too.
Suture joints are the ones like your skull. You know, you have the lines on your skull. Those are suture joints. They can move, right? But very, very little.
And they're
Right,
not
Steve?
joined. They're not
Yeah,
joined.
well, they
at
fuse
birth.
at some point, so they
Yeah.
don't move at all.
That's how,
And
that's
I
how a
made up
baby
the word
can
canortal,
squeeze.
just so you know.
Canortal.
Yeah,
Wasn't that a
See how many
Pokemon?
people picked that, Jay?
I know. I can't wait. How did you guys do?
80%.
Stop of the
I got the tiger
game.
one wrong. I thought it
Yeah,
was
I
a
got the
leopard.
tiger one wrong.
It could have been a leopard or tiger, in my mind.
Let's go down to the canortal. Most people got suture joints. So 7.2% picked canortal.
That's awesome, Jay. Congrats.
I love it.
They just got canortled.
All right, so that's good. This was a good quiz. I'm still learning. Sometimes I'm like, it's way too easy, and then it turns out that it isn't.
I think people like it. It's the right amount.
So someone
let's
said in
click
the chat, I don't know if they were being serious, that Woody Woodpecker was actually an ivory-billed woodpecker. But the cartoonist, Walter Lantz, used a pileated woodpecker as the model both for the image of Woody Woodpecker and his maniacal laugh, both based on a pileated woodpecker.
Cool.
But they were referring to an episode where he shows the name of his species in a book, but I can't see that reference.
I have to do a deep dive on this, everybody.
I know. Oh, it's crazy. So it's like somebody emailed me about the Concorde. Were we talking about that on the show? Or I think that
Yeah,
it was,
yeah.
we were talking about the high-speed jets. About why did the Concorde service end? Right? It sounds like a pretty straightforward question.
Yeah.
It's like an unanswerable question. It's like so complicated, and like sources say so many different things. It'd be like you'll probably never be able to reconstruct the complex web of factors that led to, because the cause and effect is not obvious. Like, for example, Airbus supplied the parts for the Concorde, and then they pulled out, so they were no longer going to provide the parts, and without their certification, there was no choice but to shut down the program. But the question is that why the program shut down? Because another source said that Air France, who was losing money on the Concorde system, could have forced them to continue to provide certification, but didn't because it provided a convenient excuse to shut down their flight, their service, which was losing money anyway.
Oh man.
So what does that mean? So what was the real cause? And then British Airways was making money on their Concorde service. Air France was losing money. So, is that, why was that? You know what I mean? Anyway, there's so many different theories going on as to exactly what it was. Like, because there's lots of things you can point to. Like there was the Concorde had limited service because it didn't have the range to go trans-Pacific. Did you know that? It could just barely go transatlantic. Did not have the range to go trans-Pacific.
I didn't know that.
And you couldn't fly it over the continental U.S. because of regulation.
Right. Yep.
So it kind of limited the routes,
Sure.
So, but was that it was in service for over 20 years without a problem. And again, like some people even saying in the chat right now, because it was too noisy, but no, that really wasn't the reason, because it was mostly flying over the Atlantic supersonic. It's not a problem. It wasn't the sonic boom, because it wasn't flying any place where that was an issue anyway. So yeah, but it's just, the point is, whenever you do a deep dive on any question like that, it's always an order of magnitude or more complicated than you think.
Yep.
And there may not even be like a definitive answer. And again, it's like somebody just emailed us today and they said, what would happen if the Carrington event occurred today? Like how much damage would occur, like a CME? And we did a deep dive on this, I think a year or so ago. And the answer is nobody knows. We don't know what the effect would be.
But likely it would be devastating.
No, we don't. We can't say that. We cannot say that. So,
I don't know, man.
Powerful enough CME would be devastating. What we don't know is how powerful would one have to be, and a Carrington level one might not be that bad. We just don't know. It all depends on on what the actual effect would be on our infrastructure, and we can only guess. It's not like we test it, you know what I mean? So the answer I found, Bob, when we did a deep dive on this, is that we really don't know. We can't state with any kind of confidence in a broad range what the actual effect would be based upon the power of the CME. We know that like really mild ones would be fine. We know that a severe enough one would be devastating, but then in the middle, we don't know, and that's where the Carrington level one falls. Is sort of in that middle range of could be bad, could not be bad. We don't really know.
I never thought of it as the middle range of anything. Carrington event it sounded pretty damn powerful from what I read about it. I wouldn't want to face that test.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
the thing is, we shouldn't take the chance, right? I agree with that. We need to. I mean, it's not like there's no hardening of our infrastructure. It's just a question of how much is it hardened and is it enough?
yeah, I mean, I think there'd be a lot of military hardware that's hardened, but
Yeah.
civilian, which is most of it, I don't think there's hardly any hardening at all. And I mean, there's two questions. I mean, how much do we know about the Carrington event? How much do we know of how big, how potent? I don't know the answer to that. I mean, I don't know if we know, but I wouldn't be surprised if we had a pretty decent handle on how powerful it was. And then, can you simulate that kind of event today with satellites and our infrastructure?
Mhm.
I don't see why that would be a problem either. So that's why I'm still kind of I don't understand why we're not more certain than you say we are. I don't understand
do
why.
your own investigation and tell me what you find. But that's what I found. That
That's
the real answer is
surprising.
we don't know.
But I mean, it could be. I mean, you remember we covered this on the show a few years ago, Steve, when saying that, and the predictions were that there was a decent chance within the next 20 years, a very decent chance.
Oh yeah, we're going to get hit with one. It's like it's pretty. It's going to happen. That's not the question. The
Right.
question is what's it going to do.
Right, and if I remember, this is a few years ago, so I'm not sure I remember well enough, but I mean, the prediction was that not only was it likely to happen within a couple decades, but that it probably would be devastating. But maybe that was before the research you were talking about.
It's not so much that. I just think that that's sort of the conventional wisdom that gets repeated a lot. But when you actually try to source it to like 8
glasses of water a day type of
yeah, right, exactly. It's an 8 glasses of water a day thing, but there's really no source to that. It's just things that get repeated and repeated, and when you try to source it to like engineers who have done some kind of actual analysis, you find out that the answer is they don't fucking know.
All right,
so they really
there's
don't
less
know.
certitude. There's wider error bars than we
Yeah,
thought.
the error bars are
So
huge.
okay,
And then some journalists at some point in time quoted the worst end of the spectrum, and that's what
right,
became
and that's
conventional wisdom.
and that's gospel now. So
Yeah,
that's actually a very little bit encouraging, but and hopefully we won't take it less seriously because of that. But because I think we need to
because
take
the
that
risk would be
seriously.
huge. Imagine if it
Right.
wiped out our satellite infrastructure and
Overloaded all our transformers everywhere.
and when we lost even if we lost a few of our transformers, it could be huge swaths of the country that are without power for months.
Months, because you don't just
longer than
there's no backups of those transformers waiting to be reinstalled. I mean,
So the more transformers that go down, the longer it would be to
Right.
get like the whole grid back up.
I mean, worst case scenario is bad enough. I mean, imagine, blam, you're in the 17th century now for the next 2 years. That's a bad worst case scenario. It's like multiple EMPs going off around the world, wiping out like most of our electronics. Pretty bad, pretty bad. So we got to deal with it. The worst case scenario is so bad, it's worth an investment of many millions. And
Is that in Biden's infrastructure bill?
yeah.
Well, I know upgrading the grid is, but I don't know with like money to upgrade the grid, if hardening it against the CME is in there, if like that's a part of it. I don't know.
Probably not. That's something that's just not on enough people's radar.
Yeah, it's
It's
unfortunate.
like a potential asteroid strike. I mean, and that was in the news relatively recently too. I mean, if we find a big enough size asteroid, what was the time frame? That was like a couple of years away. There's literally nothing we can do. We need to find it at least 10 years away, something like that. At least 10 years away before we can muster the hardware to actually deal with it.
And we've got to lower that to like 6 months, I think.
Right. Right, because you can get a fast-moving comet coming in where we've got so little warning that we're like, oh shit, that's it.
We have
Game
to build
over.
a giant obelisk laser that will push it away.
That could somehow push it.
Yeah, push it away.
Using some deflector technology.
Ian, we got any questions?
Yes, we do. We have a bunch of them. So here we go. On the topic of cosmic rays, a question: which superpower would you want to get from the cosmic rays?
I mean, I
Oh yeah, man.
always
It's just
choose
Thank you,
healing,
Healing.
just because. What's more
healing's
important?
good. Super
Yeah.
intelligence would be nice, or the
Thanks, Bob.
power of luck, which was
Yeah, Bob loves that one.
that's a great one. I mean,
If it's
you're-
powerful.
you're the luckiest bat. Who was that? Was what's his name?
Stan Lee.
Stan Lee said that's what he would want, the superpower of luck. Imagine every endeavor that you do, you have incredible luck.
There was a
Um,
great episode of Supernatural where that was like there was a cursed item. If you got the item, then
Bad
you
luck?
had perfect luck. Like nothing could go wrong. You know, like whoever the guy who had the item, somebody shot him, but they like stumbled at the last moment, and the bullet ricocheted 4 times and killed the guy who tried to kill
Yeah,
him. Like
like
nothing could happen bad.
Deep
can
Space
happen
Nine
to you.
episode. Deep Space Nine episode.
That's awesome.
But
Yeah.
But if you lose ownership of the item, if it goes to somebody else, now you have the worst possible luck, and like your life expectancy is measured in
Days.
moments at that point. Yeah,
Okay, or hours. Yeah.
right.
Once you get it, you better hold on to that damn
I
thing.
would still,
Yeah, right.
I would get, if I could have that, I would still take it because that's just too epic. I would protect it like nothing's ever been protected ever.
You have it
I
like
like Steve,
implanted
though.
inside your body.
Yeah,
if you
if,
could
if
heal
possible.
yourself and heal others, that would be amazing.
Yeah, healing self and others, I would always take that over any other power.
There's a superhero in Drew. Oh, what the fuck's his name? The Superpowered series. His name was Halo. Hallow. He was the best healer on the planet. He could heal you so well that he could basically de-age you to 35 in perfect health, and that was the scale of his healing. He can't, if you break your arm or blew half your body off, not only could he heal you, but he could heal you so much that you de-age, that you get younger. That to me was an amazing, superpower.
Right? Who wouldn't take that?
Yeah, that's huge.
Steve, someone said if you have perfect luck, how could you ever lose the item?
Well, it doesn't apply to the item itself. That's the
Ah,
that's the
Oh,
only-
I see.
near perfect luck.
Yeah.
You have any other
That's a
ones?
good question, though. That's a good question.
Potential effects of the India variant, especially with everyone reopening. We have warnings in the UK about Indian variant spreading and affecting those vaccinated. I don't know if that was a specific question, but if there's anything on that.
Yeah, I haven't really done a deep dive on the India variant yet, so I have to look it up. I could see if I can find something about it. Anything?
Yeah,
definitive.
there's also. Have you heard about the UAP report that the Pentagon is delivering to Congress? Navy pilots are seeing these tic tacs every single day now. With the UFO UAPs.
Yeah. We talk about it this week on the show.
Okay.
Could be a
Listen to
cicadas.
the show coming out tomorrow.
Real quick, Benjamin
go ahead.
asked, "What if you're younger than 35?" I have to assume in that scenario that you would just be healed and not have your age
Yeah.
changed in any way.
Yeah.
Plus, he could do it at will. He could de-age you a year, 10 years, or whatever.
He'd be a great friend.
Just love that guy, man. Although he was a greedy bastard. He retired from being a superhero, and he charged millionaires millions of dollars to heal them and de-age them.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
Do it on
Okay.
a sliding scale,
Mhm.
If you're poor, do it for free. If you're a billionaire, pay up. You got to subsidize.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So guys, go
go
to
ahead.
necss.org.
There you
I don't
go.
want to forget, right, Ian?
That's right. Boom.
We have all but one, I think, of the speakers are up on the website right now.
We're just waiting for the headshot, right?
It's going to be a great year. The theme this year is the future has landed. We're going to be talking about technology and science that are happening right now that are incredible, that you should know enough about to truly appreciate them. it's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun plans also of other things. We like to do a lot of other different things during the program. So please join us, necss.org. We have a ton of shows, in-person shows. I can't believe it. We have a private show at DragonCon. We have an extravaganza in Atlanta during DragonCon. We have a extravaganza in November in Denver. We have a private show on November 19th in Denver. And we have a private show on the 20th of November in Fort Collins. All of this can be seen if you go to theskepticsguide.org/events. You can see all the details. We'd love to have you. If you do go to any of these shows and you are a frequent viewer of the live stream, let us know. We'd like to talk to you. I'd like to chat with you. And I can't believe it. Like, we went from like overweight and stuck at home to we're going to be doing live shows again. I'm psyched.
One
Until
more
the next
question?
pandemic.
2 more questions?
Well, this is a super quick one for Jay. Any chance you know the guitar chords for the end of the intro tune? Towards the end of the intro tune.
No, I do not. And funny, Ian and I were literally just talking to the guy who wrote the song last week.
Mm-hmm.
I could ask him. I'm sure that he would be.
Yeah, he might make little tabs or something like that. Live
that'd be
stream
cool.
live shows. People want live stream live shows. That's potential. We've done that before, actually.
Yeah, we will
For the
definitely do it
patrons.
for the patrons. Yeah, we're going to schedule now that the pandemic is over. We'll definitely start scheduling that stuff again, and we will announce it on the show so everyone knows. So if you want to become a patron to support us, to help us continue to keep doing what we're doing,
Where do
we
you
do
go?
we give you extra content, some extras, discounts, and whatnot.
Oh, you can head over to patreon.com/skepticsguide.
My diet is calorie reduction. I'm eating. Somebody asked in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm really eating a very, very small amount of food. So I have a couple of hard-boiled eggs in the morning with my coffee. At lunch, I really have been actually enjoying eating frozen vegetables for lunch, like a big bowl of frozen vegetables. I put a little salt and a tiny little bit of butter in there. And, that's only like 150 calories, and it fills you up. Cans of tuna fish,
Cat food.
some cat food. You got to keep it,
It's just
that
low
can
with,
give you
yeah.
some GI issues.
Mm-hmm.
You could go down to the supermarket for $5 or $6. You can get yourself a rotisserie chicken if you eat meat, and that's a really good meal. If you make some broccoli with that, it's a fantastic meal. You're getting pretty much everything that you need, and it's not expensive. Lots of salads, and I drink a ton of liquids, just a lot of water. Make sure I'm hydrated. It's good. It's going good.
Another question was the PBS Nova documentary on the Hindenburg disaster with newly found film footage. Did anybody see any of that?
I haven't seen
Yeah,
it yet, but it
apparently.
sounds interesting. It's
So
a
that's an interesting
PBS?
Yeah, it says PBS Nova.
Nova.
think
Yeah, I love
that's-
Nova.
Yeah.
The
so-
humanity.
I think
Did
just
they,
a couple of people were
restore the-
saying like,
restore the footage.
yeah, apparently they restore it, but probably make it like the right frame rate and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like
that'd be
they
good.
did with the
Somebody said you got to watch out for mercury in
I-
white tuna. Is that true?
Is that true?
Yeah, there's
like to
some in
look
there.
that
It's not. It's not a problem.
It's not the and it's not the bad mercury, right? I mean, there's like bad mercury and good mercury.
No, I think
Yeah.
it is the bad mercury.
It
in
is.
tuna. It's not the
Oh.
bad mercury in vaccines.
Oh, that's what
Oh,
I'm thinking of.
The
Yeah.
Marisol.
Okay. So the people in the you're right. Charlie let me know that I shouldn't be talking as if the pandemic is over. It's not. There's a lot of bad places like India that are having the pandemic is really bad, and people are in the thick of it. It's just hard. It's hard for me to remember that because my life is so engaged with the pandemic kind of lessening in the United States. But I should be able to remember that next time. It's not cool. You're right. I don't want to like downplay anybody's misery because we had a bad year here too.
I think that's all the questions that I have, unless
All
we
right.
have anything
All
else
right,
you
All
want
right,
to
okay, this is
promote.
good because I'm going to go see Bob.
Come, come now, Jay. Swimming,
And if
swimming, swimming.
if either of you guys need help with your party prep, let me know. I'll be happy to help you guys.
Evan will be back next week, all crazy tax season.
Yeah, we had, and Steve and I had an idea that was given to us by my niece's boyfriend, Cormac. He was thinking it would be cool, and Steve and I thought that we're talking about it, if we had a guest, briefly have one of the people in the audience for one of these shows to come on as a guest, ask us a couple of questions, and we can ask you a couple of questions. Would definitely not be for the whole thing because that's a big commitment. If you're interested, if you think that's a good idea, email us at info@, and maybe we'll pick a few people.
I think there's some ideas for that, like maybe we could do a call-in segment.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
people call in, and we fly them in if they have something fun to show, or like a Zoom.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. That's
that
a
would
great
be fun,
idea.
and then kick them out when we're sick of them.
No nudity, but yeah.
No, yeah, with that.
Oh,
It
and
could
also
just be
before
audio.
we go, don't forget, if you go to nexus.org/pandemic project, right,
Yes.
Ian?
Pandemic, yeah, project or projects. I think I have both.
Or pandemic
redirected
projects.
correctly.
You could submit a video, an explanation of something cool that you did during the pandemic. It could be you built something. It could be that you figured something out. You had a revelation, whatever. But let us know, and if we are interested, we will contact you to possibly feature you on Nexus.
That's right.
At Nexus. During
Again,
Nexus.
Again, no nudity. I shouldn't
No
even say
nudity,
that. I
please.
shouldn't say it because somebody.
Unless you have
Anyway.
old nudies of Bob, then you can tell them all you want.
Will there be a show next Friday? You mean a live stream? Because it is holiday weekend or Monday is.
Yeah, what do you
Labor,
think?
whatever.
I'm good next Friday.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ian, are you around?
Right.
You said you're.
Oh wait. Oh right.
Oh, you're gone. No, forget it. Without Ian.
No. I'm gonna be in South Carolina, but I will be connected to the internet.
We'll let you guys know because my problem is my wife is going away for a week, and if I don't have coverage,
Oh, we
for the
should
kids,
decide.
all right, let's decide.
And just to tell them now if we're going to be doing.
Let's
this next
tell them
Friday.
now. Yes.
I mean, I
So-
can do it probably. I can do it.
Yeah, there's no probably. It's gotta
No, I'll
be.
be. I'll be.
There is no try. There is only do.
Unless I. Yeah, no, I'll be next to internet, so I'm good for it.
Guys,
All right.
thank you so
So,
much for
yeah,
listening.
We skip over it. I think we're gonna get it.
We'll do it. We'll freaking do it. All right, you
We'll
bastard.
do it live.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you showing up. It's we have a ton of fun doing this. It's a lot of
Yeah.
fun reading the chat. Keep doing it. We're all going to still be doing this for a while.
If there's other ideas also for the live stream, let us know because maybe we can make this a more exciting part of your week, everybody. That
Mhm.
you're expecting.
All right.
Let us know.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good weekend.
Toodles.
Bye bye. Jay, get your
I
ass
could
over
actually
here.
hit the outro. Outro time.
Skeptic's Guide to the Universe is produced by SGU Productions, dedicated to promoting science and critical thinking. For more information, visit us at theskepticsguide.org. Send your questions to info@theskepticsguide.org. And if you would like to support the show and all the work that we do, go to patreon.com/skepticsguide and consider becoming a patron and becoming part of the SGU community. Our listeners and supporters are what make SGU possible.